On the Roadhouse and we got the Impala. Now what I'm going to start doing with this is, since the Hot Rod Power Tour is coming up in June and this is January, a lot of stuff to do to the Impala before we go. So I'm going to call this little video series a Hot Rod Power Tour to 2020 or something like that. So here's what I've got. I've got all the brakes that are getting ready to go in this week. We got Willwood brake system. We've got Global West upper A-arms. We've got the Willwood brake booster and master cylinder. We've got the fuel tank for the LS system is going in. We got the fuel lines that need to be ran. We got the brake lines, all brand new brake lines. They got to be ran. So what I had to do is I had to bring in other people to do this. I'm way behind. If you've been watching, I've been doing a shop at the same time. I've been getting a Jeep up on Super Duty axles, and it's a mess by itself. So we got to get this thing moving. So I'm going to enlist the help of my buddy RC. He's going to be taking care of all of the brakes and all that type of stuff. Him and a couple of guys. They're going to take care of this week, supposedly. So hopefully it goes by this week or beginning of next week. I'll update you. I'm not going to be doing a lot of the work myself like I usually do, but I'm going to have these guys take care of it for me. Next, I've got on the 25th of January, this goes over to Project Cheap, as in CHEEP, as in part Jeep, part cheap. He's a guy on YouTube. He's also a guy on Facebook, and he is an LS master as far as wiring it up. So we're going to have him take care of this. He's going to wire everything up for me. All right, the other side of the shop is still a mess, but what I've got here is RC. Boy's getting old, so he wants some comfort. So I got him some strips of here of foam so he can put them in the car. So when he's laying down doing the wiring underneath the dash, if he's gonna be doing that. Transmission lines have got to be ran. The coolant lines. So we got a lot of things that got to be done on this. A lot of Project Cheap is going to be taking care of a lot of it. Transmission cross member has to be built. And I'm guessing that they're going to do it at Project Cheap because he is a fabricator himself. What else? The more I get done on this car in the next, between now and February, the better, because I would hate to be rushing, getting all the little stuff right before I end up going on the power, or hopefully going on the power tour. RC and his crew are going to take care of the rear disc brake conversion and the front disc brake conversion. The Global West upper A-arms are going to be going in. The new shocks on the front, of course, are going to be put in when they do that. I already got new springs in the front, new springs in the rear. I could do my air shocks in the back. Have got a little bit of a leak to it. So I'm going to run air shocks for now. But there's a flip that you can do that's on the rear camber adjustment, where if you move it to a different notch that's on the frame, which I'll do a video on later, you can actually raise the back of your car without having to go to, air shocks or bigger springs or that type of stuff. So I want to try that and start to see, before we go on the Hot Rod Power Tour, to see if I can get rid of those air shocks in the back. But right now, it keeps it at a level that I like. It's a little bit of a sporty event. If you follow me on this car all the way back to my first videos, you'll know that the reason why I'm doing this car is because my grandma had a car just like this. Now, of course, my grandma didn't have an LS swap in it and all that type of stuff. I got all carried away once I started doing that. Hers did have a 327, the 5.3. We're gonna call it square with that. Hers, I don't think had a 12 bolt in the rear. But it was a 327 model. It had everything except for air conditioning. But I don't know about the 12 bolt in the back. As far as, that's why I'm doing this car. Now, granted, Supernatural made this car almost untouchable as far as prices go. 15 years ago, I could have bought one of these cars for $800 running and driving. All right, maybe 16, 17 years ago. Once Supernatural hit, this car, same conditioning, barely running and driving, If I was to find one running and driving all rusted out and everything, now is $6 grand for something like that. Now this car will be maroon with a black vinyl top, just like my grandma's was. Now as far as the Hot Rod Power Tour, I may end up driving it with this blue color because you know, it's got a patina on it. The patina is not too terrible. If it's not going to cause too much damage, I'm going to run it for the Hot Rod Power Tour just like it is, if I have to. The inside will be all brand new seats, brand new carpet, and everything will be done on the inside. Thank you for joining me. Always subscribe, like, comment down below. Tell me what you think. And as always, if you ride her hard, don't put her up wet.